Hi, Babu and my Juke joint folk. Well, this is Mama. With all this Black Lives awareness and stuff, I heard some know, or just to hear my take on how to make friends with Black folk. Well, Mama's gonna tell you that. All of you I know, you got co-workers and associates and folk you see every day. All y'all Midwesterners got your friends you meet on your tractors while you're making your alien crop circles, and all y'all Northerners, Topher, all y'all, you got friends that you meet on the train. Well, let me tell you, now is the time for you to kind of ease on up on Black folk and ask them stuff that you've been wanting to ask them for a long time. Now, let me tell you the jargon. When I say ease on up, I know some of you white folk don't understand what that means, but what that means, and this is very important, when you ease on up Black folk, that means don't go up on them too fast now. Because see, Black folks might have a flashback when you ease up on them too quick, and God knows what'll happen to you then.
A flashback,
Well,
Mama.
when you ease on them, move very slowly and proceed with caution. Now you see Landon's over there crying because somebody went up on him too quick. So I can't tell you what's gonna happen. Well, first of all, here's a few do's and a few don'ts on what you need to do when you make friends with Black folks. First of all, accept the fact that Black lives really do matter. And when you learn that Black lives really do matter, then you can see where all lives matter equally. Number two, if you're the CEO or the manager or the selecting official, start weighing the talents of Black folks the same as white folk equally, then you'll find that your staff can really advance when you put Black folk in some of the positions where they can, you can see their talents.
Okay.
Number three, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Number three, this is very important. Be polite when you're in a conversation with your Black elders. Say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, and add a title to their name like Miss Glenda or Mr. Joe Lewis or whatever you want to see. So those are very important things to do in taking your steps of your dues to make friends with Black folk. Now, the next important things, these are your don'ts. These are some things that you don't ever do when you try to make friends with Black folk. Like, don't differentiate between your Black friends by saying stuff like, I ain't prejudiced because I got one Black friend. Her name's Shaniqua. One Black friend don't take you out of prejudice. So don't do that. Number two, when you get in front of Black folks, don't act like you got that smooth thing all down pat because you watch one episode of Soul Train or you watch one episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air, or you even lusted over LL Cool J. Now, see, that's something else to get you in trouble too when you lust over them Black men. Don't do that.
Do you lust over LL Cool J, Mama?
Huh?
You heard me. Do you lust over LL Cool J?
No, he lick his lips too much for me. Now, let me tell you this, baby, and this is an important thing now.
Okay.
Don't you ever touch a Black person's hair, whether it's a man or a woman, because I'm going to warn you that if you get your fingers stuck up in my weave or my wig and mess up my wig, let me tell you something. I'm going to have to put on some Vaseline, take off my earrings, and that's a whole nother thing. So don't do that when you try to make friends with Black folks. So I know some of y'all like to touch on the Black folk hair to see what it's made out of or if it'll bite you, but don't do that if you want to make friends with Black folks. And Next thing, now this is a pet peeve of mine. I don't know about everybody else, but Missy, let me tell you, stop that damn apologizing. You know, once you tell me something, I come out the bathroom and I got my skirt tucked down in my underwear and you tell me about it, I'm appreciative. I said, oh, thank you, thank you. Don't keep on apologizing for the next few days. Well, I didn't mean that. You don't have to take it out if you want to. Stop apologizing, Nessa. Okay, now. I'm sorry, I got carried away, but it's
You
one
did.
more thing.
Come back to us. Come back to us.
Huh?
Come back.
Oh, okay. You know you gotta call me back now. Let me tell you. Now, this is my last thing, and I'm gonna go ahead on and get my fan because I'm kind of getting out of control here. But Becky, let me tell you this. Stop calling the police, Becky, because folk got cell phones. When you go over there and you're proving historically that you have been aiding and abetting in murder by the telephone by calling and making these false telephone calls. Stop doing that, Becky. If I'm gonna tell you what we ought to do about Becky. If Becky is found guilty of aiding and abetting by phone call, we ought to make Becky put on one of those little Pizza Hut things with the front and the back and walk around and say, I aided and abetted in murder when she found doing it. Because she just can't come back and apologize again and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Make Becky walk in front, up and down the street with that Pizza Hut sign on, said, I aided and abetted. Well, I tell you, let me go ahead on, but I'm going to tell you this. Speaking of wigs and messing up black folks' hair, I've come up with an invention, and I'm going to tell you about my invention next week.
Well, why can't you tell us now?
Well, I've already told you so much, and I think right now, like my sister Reva say, Becky probably so skittish at this point in time, she act like a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, so she can't take too much more now, right now. And for my invention, I have to talk about that later on, because I'm skittish.
Okay, Mama. Well, go on then. Thank you.
Well, have a great week, y'all. And remember, Mama said that.
Okay. Bye, Mama.